In the last few days, the internet has been flooded with sensational headlines claiming that Jupiter's massive gravity just crushed and squeezed the interstellar visitor 3IB Atlas like a wet towel. You've probably seen the viral videos suggesting that this billion-ton object was physically ripped apart during its flyby on March 16, 2026. It sounds cinematic, it sounds terrifying, and it's exactly what the mainstream media wants you to believe to get those easy clicks. But here on Exoplanet X, we look at the physics, not the fairy tales. And the physics tells a much darker, much more calculated story than a simple cosmic collision. Let's look at the cold, hard numbers that other channels are ignoring. 3IB Atlas passed Jupiter at a distance of 33.3 million miles. To put that in perspective, that is nearly 400 times the diameter of Jupiter itself. At that range, tidal forces, the gravitational stress that actually stretches a solid object, are virtually non-existent. For Jupiter to physically deform a billion-ton mass of rock and ice, the object would have to pass within the Roche limit, which is hundreds of times closer than where Atlas actually was. If this object really did experience structural changes or cracks during that flyby, it wasn't because of Jupiter's pull, it was because of something active happening inside the craft. The real anomaly isn't a physical breakup, it's a trajectory shift that defies every natural model we have. While NASA's public reports focus on a standard gravitational slingshot, leaked tracking data from China's Tianwen-1 mission shows a localized thermal spike that occurred exactly at the moment of closest approach. Jupiter didn't attack 3IB Atlas, it served as a cosmic waypoint. We aren't watching a comet struggling to survive a planet's gravity. We are watching a massive, interstellar machine using our solar system's largest gas giant to calibrate its final exit speed. If you're tired of the fake hype and want the actual data behind the 2026 space race, hit that like button and subscribe to Exoplanet X right now. We don't just follow the news, we track the truth that NASA is trying to bury. While everyone was busy debating the crushing of 3I Atlas, they completely missed the most terrifying anomaly of the century. According to the latest 2026 mass estimates, co-authored by Harvard's Avi Loeb, this object has a mass of approximately 1 billion metric tons. To put that in perspective, the first interstellar visitor we ever caught, Oumuamua, was only 10,000 tons. That makes 3I Atlas 100,000 times more massive than anything that has ever entered our solar system from another star. In the world of astrophysics, this isn't just an outlier, it's a statistical impossibility that shatters every natural model of planetary formation. Here is the problem that NASA is trying to explain away. According to the size distribution law, for every giant object like 3I Atlas, there should be hundreds of thousands of smaller, Oumuamua-sized rocks floating through the galaxy. But as the Vera C. Rubin Observatory, which went live in February 2026, scans the sky with unprecedented precision, the results are shocking. The small objects simply aren't there. We found the ocean liner before we found a single lifeboat. Statistically, the odds of detecting a billion-ton object as our second-ever interstellar visitor are less than 0.5%. This isn't a random occurrence, it's a targeted arrival. The official narrative claims our models of interstellar debris are simply wrong, but the data from the Rubin Observatory suggests a much chilling reality. If 3I Atlas doesn't follow the natural size distribution of asteroids, it's because it isn't an asteroid. It is a singular, massive, and highly structured craft that moved through Jupiter's gravity not as a victim, but as a navigator. When an object that massive performs a precise gravitational maneuver without shedding a single fragment of ice or dust, we aren't looking at a comet. We are looking at a billion tons of engineered material that is now accelerating toward the edge of our system.
The true mystery of the March 16 flyby isn't what Jupiter did to 3I Atlas, but what 3I Atlas did to the Jovian system. As the object reached its closest point to the gas giant, deep space tracking stations in western China detected a localized burst of narrow-band radio frequency. This wasn't the chaotic noise of a natural comet breaking apart. It was a focused, high-intensity signal directed precisely at the icy moon, Europa. For a split second, the electromagnetic environment around Jupiter spiked in a way that our current models of natural radio emissions simply cannot explain. We weren't witnessing a collision, we were witnessing a handshake. Why Europa? In 2026, both NASA and the European Space Agency are pouring billions into missions like JUICE to find life beneath Europa's ice crust. If 3I Atlas is an automated interstellar probe, as its massive, structured core suggests, then Jupiter was the perfect relay station. By using the planet's massive magnetosphere as a natural amplifier, the object could have beamed centuries of gathered data directly into the subsurface oceans of our system's most mysterious moons. While mainstream astronomers are looking for cracks in the object's hull, the real data suggests that a billion-ton messenger just dropped a massive payload of information right in our backyard. The final proof lies in the acceleration data recorded by the Vera Rubin Observatory as the object began its exit from the system. 3I Atlas didn't just drift away, it showed a non-gravitational velocity boost that exactly matched the outgassing patterns seen in Oumuamua, but on a scale 100,000 times larger. This wasn't a random explosion of ice, it was a calculated directional thrust that aligned the object's path with the next star system on its 12 billion-year journey. We aren't just observing a comet anymore, we are watching the departure of a gargantuan, ancient machine that just used Jupiter to call home, and NASA is terrified of what that signal contained.
The most haunting detail of the March 2026 flyby isn't the signal or the speed, it's the age of the messenger. New isotopic analyses of the dust trailing 3I/Atlas suggests this object began its journey before our sun was even born. We are talking about an artifact that has spent over 12 billion years navigating the void, crossing entire galaxies just to reach our specific coordinate in space. If this was a natural rock, it would have been eroded by cosmic rays or shattered by gravity eons ago. Instead, it arrived with surgical precision, used Jupiter's massive gravitational field as a battery, and performed a maneuver that no known asteroid in human history has ever attempted. The geopolitical silence from NASA and the CNSA is the loudest part of this story. While independent astronomers are spotting these anomalies, official space agencies have suddenly moved their most sensitive data behind national security firewalls. In February 2026, just weeks before the flyby, the Vera Rubin Observatory began its mission to map the dark corners of our system, and it found something that wasn't supposed to be there. 3I/Atlas didn't just stumble into our sun's gravity, it was likely pinged by something already hidden in the Kuiper belt. We aren't looking at a lonely traveler, we are looking at the activation of a network that has been dormant for billions of years. As 3I/Atlas accelerates toward the edge of the solar system, it leaves us with a terrifying question. If a billion-ton machine just used Jupiter to send a massive data burst to Europa, what is waiting for us beneath that 15-mile thick shell of ice? The 2026 space race is no longer about flags or lunar bases. It's a race to intercept a message from a civilization that died before our planet even existed. The handshake at Jupiter was just the beginning. The real story is what happens when that signal finally reaches its destination, and the quietest part of our solar system starts talking back.